Hey everybody, it's Ellie. I'm here today with some Alpha Minecraft. Just in the spirit of good habits and starting new things. It's spring. We're here for new life, new starts, fresh beginnings, all that jazz, right? We got ourselves a really beautiful coastline here. But before we start thinking about that, we gotta do what we always do when you start a Minecraft world. Punch some trees, get some wood, get shit started. I'm here starting a new world in a version of Minecraft that's nearly 15 years old now because I'm in the season of good habits here. Like I said when we started up, I want to try to build more habits to make myself a better person. And you might be thinking, how the hell is Minecraft playing into that? It really doesn't. I just wanted an excuse to record stuff more, and making a habit of doing this after my daily walks will make it a little more reward, I guess. I don't know. The science is there, I'm sure, if you care to dig for it, but who cares? It's Minecraft. We're gonna have a good time. Coming up over this way, it's becoming really clear to me that this is a little isolated island, which I kind of love. It gives me a nice, well-defined area to try to build a nice little house for us to start here. I'm sure it's really obvious to y'all by now, but Leaf Decay is pretty funny in this version. You're gonna notice a lot of random stray saplings, and I'm gonna try to pick them up as we go. Except for that one, I guess. Looks like we got some sugarcane over here, which is kind of exciting. A little bit of a fan of this weird beach here. A lot of gravel. Kind of hope that it's gonna be a 404 challenge ass pit every time I break gravel like that, but gotta live the dream. Swimming is so boring in this version. It takes so long. Oop. Look who forgot to turn off the Minecraft music. This dance. And yes, it did take me this long to realize that the music was playing. I had my headphones off. Bear with me. Eventually we'll do something creative with the sandbar, but for now, it would be a great place to plant the sugarcane, but you can't plant it on sand yet, so little losses here. Alright, that's enough meandering for now. Let's get crafting. Now, tool durability is really funny in these early versions, so there's no reason for us to make anything but a pickaxe. I reckon right here is probably a good enough spot to start digging down. Doesn't go into the water or nothing, so we shouldn't have to deal with anything while we're on our way down here. It's only around this point that I'm really starting to notice our lack of torches. We live in a version here before charcoal or anything, so I don't think it's good for any of us to keep digging down there and just hoping we hit coal. And yeah, let's get these planted while I'm thinking about it. We're here and we have the cobblestone, so we might as well make a small set of tools for our little adventure we're about to go on. In this version, exposed coal is significantly more common than I feel it is in any modern Minecraft version. So I'm kind of weighing whether we just go on our merry way to find some or just try to dig for it. I'm gonna plop a chest down here while we're thinking about it, though. To make watching this easier in post, I'm just gonna absolutely drench this in brightness and contrast so that it's not as pitch black as it was when I was digging here. Bad idea, really, to go digging further like this, because it's alpha. It's not like we have a higher chance of running into coal like a super modern Minecraft, so this is really just a crapshoot, and I wisened up real quick to say, let's do this smarter. Now, some good and bad news I've noticed walking around here. Our area is crazy flat, which is good because that means building will be a lot easier and I won't have to terraform this island or any of the surrounding islands all too much to make a beautiful house or an alright house, I guess. No standards, really. But it kind of makes finding exposed coal a bitch because usually it shows up in mountainsides, sheer cliffs and all that, and there aren't really very many of those here. As we go here, we might as well cut down a couple of these trees. It's totally worth it because wood's going to be a pain in the butt to get a lot of in the long term, so the more we can grab now, the better, so I don't need to keep harvesting all the damn time, which I will anyway, but you know, every bit counts, right? See another gravel beach here, and I really wish that this would fall in, but unfortunately no dice yet again. I'll get it eventually, guys, I promise. And, you know, we gotta punch the sheep while we're here. Of course, it's alpha, you know? We gotta live the life. Shear them with your bare fists. Interestingly enough, because this is pre-biomes, cactus just kind of spawns wherever it feels like on sand. So it's just chilling on the beach here. Nice pickup. It doesn't really do much yet, but, you know, more blocks, more to build with, always a good thing. Sun's still high in the sky, so we got plenty of time to find, and just out of the corner of our eye, some coal. Right on cue. We'll probably break our wood pickaxe mining this coal here, but that's alright. It's done its job. Hoping for a pretty big vein here, because even in alpha, they still ran pretty big, so... Not as big as in dev, of course, but, you know, can't all be winners. Gotta switch in our first of many stone pickaxes of this world. Again, the durability is very funny in this version. I believe in early beta, they universally doubled the durability for all tools. So, whatever you're expecting, expect half of that from my tool duration. Not great, right? I very nearly fell in that hole, but just a little investigating leads me to find a fucking gravel drop-off. I told you guys I'd find one. I wasn't expecting the payoff that soon, but gotta love it, right? This cave looks crazy deep, and the generation is kind of insane. This is part of the reason why I love Alpha so much. So on this gravel beach, I'm gonna drop a little pillar of wool here to remember the spot. So when we go adventuring in a couple more days eventually, we'll remember. And of course I'm pushing my luck for another one, but no dice. There's only that little bit that dropped off, which is probably good given those drops. I don't think I'd really want to tumble all that way. I know I'm kind of pushing it here, but I figure I might as well grab a couple flowers to bring back, because this is before bone meal. These things are non-renewable, so every flower we can have to pretty up our area, the better.
in my mind, we eventually have a really pretty set of bridges here to connect these islands and make it look all natural and, well, not natural, but, you know, seamless. And unfortunately, it starts going dark here, so I'm pushing my luck by stumbling and falling, and then we're just gonna bridge out this little shitty, whatever we have, kind of single block bridge so that we can get to where we need to. And, you know, nothing like pushing your luck a little further by bridging all the way here with mismatching blocks. At least from now on, if we want to get over there, it'll be a lot quicker than that little seafloor shuffle, you know? Now that we're finally back on our island, let's take in the fruits of our labor and craft us some torches. Now, 40 seems like it would go a pretty long way, but the light they give off in this really doesn't impress. So I'm just gonna make a little trail here going right back to our mine shaft, just to maybe not come up to see 7 creepers when we're done mining tonight. Can only hope so much, you know? Just gonna meander around a little bit longer, you know, push my luck a little further, put some more torches down here. Get some more plants growing while we're at it, because, you know, these cactus aren't going to do nothing for us sitting in my inventory. Beautiful. Yeah, let's do it like that so I don't break my fucking sugarcane when I harvest it. Anywho, just gonna get a couple more torches on the floor down here, throw all my produce, all my plants into this chest, and let's get mining, shall we? Now, I'm sure you love mining as much as the next person. I love mining, but watching mining is pretty fucking boring, at least I think so. So I've done the liberty of speeding this up by 4 for y'all. If you don't want to see that in the future, let me know. I will let it run at normal speed. But for right now, while we're just staircasing down and nothing's really happening, I am more than chill to just let this run. So I'll be back with y'all once we have hit close to bedrock. Now, the reason we had to go through that whole process to mine all the way down here with kind of a crapshoot for where we end up is because the F3 menu just straight up didn't have coordinates yet. So we're kind of just mining until we hit bedrock, and then we can go up from there to see where the Y12 layer is to get our little strip mine going here. And lo and behold, we've done it. Now, we're gonna need to take a second here to verify what layer we're on. And that straight shoot of stone here kind of tells me that we are at Y5, because this is Y1 here. So Y2 is going to be on our left here, Y3, Y4, Y5. And it's going to take me a second to make absolutely sure that we're at Y5 here, but once I get that, right, that means that this is Y6 here, Y7 there, right? Y5 is on that layer, Y6, Y7, Y8, Y9, Y10, Y11, and Y12. Perfect. And just to make sure that I don't forget where Y12 is, I'm gonna make our first sign and hang it up right over the doorframe here, that this, my friends, is Y=12. Now, this has changed in modern Minecraft, but for the longest time, I always had it ingrained in my memory that Y12 was the layer to mine at, because you were above the lava and in the middle of the diamond spawn range. I might be completely wrong, maybe later evidence has shown that there's like a better layer, you know, more optimal layer to mine at, but who cares, you know? It's alpha, we're here for the vibes, right? Being completely real with y'all, I do not care about these zombie noises. I'm more interested in the ore that I'm mining here than I am in any undead fucking cretin. We're gonna need a lot of iron because of that tool durability that I've been ragging on about. So for now, I think that just mining and staying safe is our best bet. And you might be wondering, Ellie, you sped up that other mining, why is this one normal speed? More chance of actual intrigue, I suppose, is my answer. You're not really gonna see much digging a staircase down, but like, you know, anything could happen when you're mining at Y12. You could find monsters like these zombies that are in the walls, you could find diamonds, that's exciting. Or of course you can mine your way into a lava pit and die. Hopefully not foreshadowing, but you know. Well, we found our lava pit, but I don't think we're dying yet. For a second here, I kind of wanted to mine through this wall of gravel, but I don't have a shovel. Daytime will be here sooner than later. It's not worth it, you know? I'm just gonna patch up our little pathway here to make sure that next time we come down here, we'll have a nice and easy jaunt to get to the furthest part of our strip mine, not have to jump over lava and shit. Just gonna break my pickaxe. There we go. And we're gonna head right up now. We're back at the surface, and it looks like our plants have been growing wonderfully. Let's start expanding that sugarcane. We can't really use it for much yet, but can't grow it on the sand. I kind of forgot for a moment here. Let's just get some more dirt put down, line our beach with some dirt, and wonderful. That pig really wanted my attention. He's probably trying to remind me that I'm down half a heart, but you know what? I have my eyes set on building our first little structure here. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of freehanding it, and I hope that something cool comes out the other end. Oh. Well, that's that. I don't know exactly what we built, but I'm proud of it. I think it looks nice anyway. And it's the first thing we built in a new world. That's always special. Anyway, our wood supply is getting pretty low, so I think it's high time we start mining up some more trees. Still not quite sure what we're gonna make our base look like yet. I haven't come in with any ideas of a house, so we're just gonna wing it. I think that makes it a lot more fun. I think these cows agree with me anyway. Now that we've thoroughly deforested this clearing, let's just kind of scout it out a little, size it up, see where a good place for a base would be. I don't know why, but I feel motivated to clear this little patch here, this little small raised platform. I'm just winging this because it came to me while I was staring at the patch. This is an interesting shape. Let's make a house out of this. I've never done something like this before, I don't think, so I think it's going to be an interesting way to build our first little baby house. I don't know if it'll be a permanent resident or anything, but, you know, gotta have our feet on the floor somewhere, right, guys? And we might not have walls yet, but at least we have a furnace and a crafting table. A furnace placed the wrong way, and a crafting table. That's what really makes it home, right? Like any Minecraft house worth its salt in this era, I do have to frame it using logs. And we didn't mine up those trees for nothing. We gotta make our walls out of that wood we just gathered. Gotta love long break times in alpha. Nothing like mining the furnace so it doesn't face the wall the whole time, right? Now let's get some doors made up. I've been playing a lot of InfDev 2010-0415, which didn't even have doors, so this is a nice luxury. And of course, with all that talk about grabbing and moving flowers around, I might as well put a couple flowers outside our house. Gotta make it a little prettier. Now let's get building, right guys? Roof out of cobblestone makes the most sense in a purely preservation of materials sort of way. I've never been one for roofing, so this is probably not gonna look all that great, but you know, you can't learn without trying, right guys? And like I said in the beginning, we're all about learning new habits and breaking old bad ones today. I think adding a little bit of depth on both sides here will make it stand out a little more. But I'll do a lot to stop it from looking as bland and blasé as my roofs usually do, so I think it's a good choice. The great darkness sets over our land once again as I'm putting the finishing touches on this house, so at least tonight we'll have a home to lay our head in, right? And with a couple finishing touches, our house is becoming complete. Not quite there yet. Gotta throw some torches on the roof, of course. Don't want no mobs creeping us out while we're sleeping or nothing. Not that we can sleep in this version, but... Just got a couple of tasks here before the lights go out completely. I'm gonna grab enough sand to make those windows for my house I just built. And I'm gonna lighten the place up a bit while I'm at it, because eventually we'll have this whole place lit up and we won't need to deal with monsters. But for now, that's a pipe dream, and we just got our humble little abode to furnish up. Nothing like a fresh dirt floor to make you feel like you're a homeowner, right? Anyway, let's get that sand in the furnace so we can get the windows before too long. I'm gonna craft up the rest of my logs into planks, because there's one thing that any good Minecraft house should have that I'm missing here. A double chest. We built one earlier, but you know, it's not the one in your home. And there's something I realized I can make with the wool. A weird thing that shouldn't be in the game already but is, and this is the recipe in like really early alpha and infdev, I think. They had already changed it to use sticks by this point, so we have a painting. And now I will spend the next 2 minutes trying to figure out what painting I want on my wall. I love being indecisive. Now these windows looked great from the inside, but on the outside it's very clear they're missing a frame. So while I'm out here, I might as well put up some more torches, throw down some more saplings, ignore the skeleton over there, you know, all that good stuff. Takes me a second, but I finally do see him, and we have our first fight of the entire playthrough. It's a beautiful sight, skeletons without a bow that kick my ass all the same. At least we got some arrows and some wool for our trouble, right? Now that all our glass is done smelting, we can throw some iron in the furnace, finally get the rest of our stuff smelted up here. Gonna start sorting my inventory a little bit while we're at it, just get ourselves ready to face the world with grace, you know? Please ignore me struggling to build 2 pickaxes here. I am a little stupid. You know, you don't get a degree without being a little stupid. That's some real advice for y'all. And of course, our first 3 iron can't go to anything but an iron pickaxe. Now, because of the repeated thing I've been saying about tool durability, I'm going to keep that on standby and keep using stone tools unless we need to mine something that needs iron. Anyway, my priority here is to grab some logs to frame up those windows. I thought this was a fucking big tree, and it's a 5 log. It's, like, kind of small. But I guess there's another tree that was just hugging it there before we cut it down earlier. Grabbing this tree as well. I'm going to be a little bit short, but it'll be enough to frame up one side so we can finally see how half of the house looks. There we go. Once we catch it on its good side, our house is looking great. I only realized now that the flower popped out because I didn't have enough light for it, so just got to put some torches on the front to make sure that doesn't happen again. And let's go cut down that final tree in our clear grotto here to frame up the last window. This one is actually a big tree, so I'm walking up to this with a empty axe and my fists ready to do some punching. I promise it's not what it looks like. I'm just going to craft another axe. I don't know why I looked in the chest first, but, you know, maybe there was an axe in there, maybe I forgot about it. And just gonna get a little sidetracked here, because look at how good our sugarcane is growing. I'm so proud of our little fucking plants here for doing what they're supposed to and growing. Let's take the moment to light up this area a little. We don't want any rogue creepers showing up and destroying all of our hard-fought bounty before we come back and finish this tree. Alright, with that done, I'm going to go reinvest the sugarcane into expanding our farm a little bit more. Again, I'm pretty sure this only builds into 1 or 2 things in this version, but, you know, every block we can use in Alpha is a good block we can use, because our palette is pretty limited. I was thinking for a moment here about going back to the mines and grabbing some more resources, but the night is young, and frankly, I don't want to keep mining. You know, mining more and more is just boring. And next time we want to go caving, I'll probably head back to that big old gravel pit we found on the other island anyway. Look, the night's still young. We got plenty of time to do some more yard work out here. The rest of my iron's finally done smelting, so I'm gonna throw that into an axe really quickly. We've been doing a lot of tree chopping, so surely it'll be useful. I'm also gonna make a sword while we're at it, because that skeleton fight came a little too close for one mob with no armor and me with no armor, you know? I don't like the even playing field. I need to get a little more leg up here. Armed with nothing but my saplings and my torches and also swords and stuff. We gotta go brighten up some more of our island. Hopefully we'll be sooner than later to that dream of having it completely enemy-free, but, you know, can only be so lucky, right? I feel pretty safe walking around up here at nighttime now, though, so that's a nice feeling. I completely forgot about these cacti earlier, so I might as well grab them now. One of my favorite things about these early versions is just how large these cactuses are when they fall on the floor. Anyway, I'm using the sand I got here to kind of give them a little area to grow. It's tight, it's cramped, it's not ideal, but it'll be enough. I'm just gonna get myself hurt while I'm thinking of growing it a little more. Gonna plant up the last 2 sugarcane that grew while I was over there getting my fucking arm pricked by a cactus, you know? And with that moon set comes soon our next sunrise, the dawn of our second day on this island, in this wonderful Alpha world. We've accomplished a lot here today. We built a fairly nice looking house for my standards, and even built a little arch to our mine entrance, so I'd say it's a pretty accomplished day today. We've done good, fellas. Thank you all for watching this video so much. I've never done something like this, so please, any feedback is appreciated. Hopefully more will be out soon. Thank you all so much for watching, and keep being classic, folks.